Hey, good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Tarek, and everyone else. Please don't hesitate being on the mic. I'm just here hosting the session. If anybody wants to share, I heard you guys were talking as I was setting up my laptop there. So yeah, don't hesitate. Here's what I'm looking at this morning. 5 things to know before the open. And yes, the market is open. So stock futures little change after 4 weeks of gains. Oil rises after weekend of Iran peace talks are scrapped. Massive week of earnings and Fed rate decision ahead. Yes, it's going to be a big week, I believe, starting Wednesday. What do we got here? Wednesday after the close. Yeah, we got Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google. And I think on Thursday, yeah, we've got Apple. So it's going to be a big week for earnings this week. As far as the economic calendar is concerned, there's not much on the agenda for today. So I always want to see what the 3 stars, as far as importance is concerned. I want to see what's on deck. And other than that, I talked about earnings. There's nothing much today. And as far as the 5 things to know as the market opens, China says Meta must undo a $2 billion Manus acquisition. So Meta might be in play this morning. I will be concentrating on looking at the futures market, MNQ and MES particularly, as that is what I'm concentrating on myself. But if anybody else is looking at anything else, please don't hesitate. Curious to see if Meta is being affected, and Meta going up right now. So Meta on that news doesn't seem to be too concerned. So interesting levels right now on Qs. We are in pre-market. We made it to a new all-time high. So this area is very, very interesting. As far as I'm concerned, for taking any trades in this case, I want to see room to the left. So for me, room to the left would be below the wick or below where price is right now. We wicked it down. So pre-market low here is a very interesting level on the Qs. And above pre-market high is also very interesting. SPY on the 30-minute, same thing, although we did not break yesterday or Friday's high here. I was not trading on Friday, so this is my first time looking at these levels on SPY and Qs. I was looking at MNQ and MES. So we are approaching all-time highs again. So this is definitely an interesting area to be paying attention to. A lot of people like shorting these areas. However, we can absolutely make new highs, right? When we broke out of this level, we broke out of it, and then the retest was all the way down here. But then during that trading day, we made a new high again and retested and again made new highs. But this is definitely, as far as I'm concerned, on SPY, a level of possible resistance. So it would have to break out above that and then retest for me to even think of going long. MNQ, this morning's price action was very interesting. This was the rejection of around midnight. So put in somewhat of a double, triple top over here and then pulled back. Then in pre-market again, made a high up here, and then we really started selling. So this is where I've started my fib, and then I stopped it at the low of pre-market. But now that we're making new lows, I would have to bring it down lower, and I would want to have an alert if it came close to the 50 again. Asia session, we are below that Asia session low. We are below it right now. If we do regain the low, then this could be bullish because a higher time frame, we are bullish. Right now, let me take these sessions out. So on a higher time frame, I know there's a lot of information there. Let me get rid of some of these drawings. Wrong key. There we go. And there we go. You know what? I'll take out this as well. So the higher time frame, we are making new highs. So on pullbacks here, especially to pre-market low, could be a potential buying area, right? This could be a potential reversal from the pullback that we're seeing right now. So this would be an area that I would be looking at. The 27,343 area is something that I'd be very curious to look at. Because in the higher time frame, you know, we are absolutely making new highs. So for this to reverse, it would have to break below pre-market low and then retest for the continuation on the downside. Right, so that's all I'm looking at. I'm looking at the first half hour to see where the price action is taking us. I don't know if anybody else is looking at anything else. Higher time frame, by the way, if we look at the 4 hour on gold, it's the opposite. Gold has been making new lows, but then yesterday low and pre-market low over here seems to be support. So this would be where I would be looking at the price action. Right? Will it break through below, make new lows? And if so, I would want to see a retest on the 5 minute. Same thing with the highs. If it breaks above the highs here, it could be making new highs. But personally, I'd like to see this area over here being retested again for the possibility of a rejection and the further move down. So that's all I'm looking at right now. Oil, I'm not really paying attention to. It is way too news driven right now. I know some people absolutely love that and they trade that, and that's great. Volatility is awesome in oil right now. And that's all I got right now. I'm going to move to the 5 minute and zoom in. And the level that I'm looking at is pre-market low on MNQ and MES. MES on 5 minute, MES is making new highs. MNQ was making new lows, but seems to have found support. But from this morning, we were selling and then tried to pull up and then selling again. So the fib that I had was from the impulse sell over here. Right? This is the most recent fib that I'd be putting on my chart. I want to see now, does it reject this area? Right? If I zoom in on MNQ, right, we broke down, retested this area, and then sold off from here at the open. Try to retest it again. So this area right now is absolutely a golden zone. We also see that there's a 5 minute fair value gap there. Is there one on the 15? Yes, there is. So there's a 15-minute fair value gap just in this general area. So that's where I'm looking at price action to see whether it'll reject again or a short. And it is in a higher time frame. It's going up. So if I'm shorting, I'm not looking at going down to, you know, the low of Friday. I'm just looking at the possibility of making 3R on my entry.
I'm in a short on gold, looking like playing the range, looking if it will see, let's see if it will go try to take Asia lows towards the 46.90. Or, but if it will hold here above the 47, I'll get out of it. But even on the bigger time frames, I'm having this short bias on gold since last week. And I'm with you also on the NASDAQ. I'm looking for a reverse, like a switch in the market structure on the smaller time frame, starting to put higher lows, and I'm looking forward to take it higher just to test the previous high if it have the strength to do that, which apparently it's not putting it right now.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Derek. When you say in gold, the range, did I draw it? Is this what you mean by the range? Just basically the high
Yes.
of yesterday to the low of pre-market here?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, that is Asia low right here. Something that I have been studying in the strategy that I'm trying to build out is the profile. I like looking at the profile from Asia over here. And then you see this is the value area low from the Asia session. It's exactly where price is right now. So I like looking at these levels to see that when it's within the range here, taking trades within the range is a likely outcome. But if it breaks down below and then retests, and this level here is or becomes resistance, then I feel more confident in my short. Right. So these levels here, again, they're testing out different things. Haven't gone live yet, so this is all in sim. But there's different tools that I like looking at. I know a lot of people look at volume profile. I know that Avi, not necessarily the way that I'm looking at it here, but Avi and Zach shared his webinar last week. So just different tools to look at. The more obvious levels are from the actual open session, the New York session. So now we've got value area low being right at the top of London here, right? Right at the top of the London session. Look at how that correlates. And look at the value area high, how the Asia session stayed below it. Right? So these levels, I know that's a lot of lines and a lot of stuff to have on the screen, but the way that I'm building things out right now is just to have a few tools that work most of the time. Oops. And once I have everything carved out, I will be sharing. But I love getting the input from all of you guys. So let's just put these back in just for a second. Let's just look at the volume profile just from Asia here. I liked how these correlated with where price is right now. And here, let's just draw array from here. And that's not really the tool I wanted to use, but let's just put that line there and then I can remove everything else. So if this acts as support, we could be making it back to the top of this range. So this is an area where I'd be paying attention. Let's get rid of this. So like Tarek was saying here, the 4707 area here is very interesting. If it can break down below this, then I'd be expecting to go down to the bottom of the range. My RVOL is still not working. I was away all weekend, so I did not work on it. I'm looking for it, see how it just flipped from 87 to 44. That's obviously not correct. I do like knowing, because right now it feels like things are slow. It feels like it's Monday morning. We're trying to figure out what direction we're going in. Let's look at those tools on the Asia session here. Let's see where value area high and low are. There you go. So the value area low is right over here. And it is right below the golden zone over here. Right, so and right now we are just below the Asia low. And this area here could be acting as resistance. But then let's look at the profile from Friday. Here we go. The value area high correlates with the low from the Asia session. Right, so this area right here, this entire area here, let me draw a rectangle here and then I'll get rid of some of this stuff. That's my golden zone right here. So this could be a strong area of resistance. Right below the high value area high of Friday and below the low of the Asia session. So at the end of the day, that's what I'm looking at. I want to see a pullback back into here and then boom, off it goes. So my 50 needs to be changed now. My golden zone, because we've made a new low, anybody shorted at the open or shorted from up here at the retest over here into this golden zone. The golden zone didn't exist there, but it kind of does. But the retest here lower, that's a nice drop. But at some point we can start buying. So if it puts in some strong buying over here, some people might be going long. Right? This could be a very interesting level of support as well. So I know I'm all over the place right now because I don't know where it's going.
Hey, Gilles, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. How are you, Evo?
Just getting a late start today, but it's kind of good in a way that it keeps me from trading the open.
Yeah, and it's, Monday morning. I rarely take a trade. Well, I used to, but now I almost never take a trade in the first half hour of a Monday.
Yeah. Looking at, you mentioned strong moves. Palantir's got a bit of a strong move up here.
Oh,
so I'm kind of watching that for potential ABCD pattern on the 5-minute above VWAP. Let's see if this thing comes down.
Yeah.
Also looking at AMD and hymns and poet. So yeah,
what was that last
the usuals? Huh?
What was that last one?
Poet, P-O-E-T, like I'm writing poetry.
I have never heard of that one.
Yeah, they I forget who. Some contract was canceled, so their stock really sold off.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy.
Yeah, bad news. So
that's how much of a drop is that from the highs? To the lows. What is that? 50% drop.
Yeah.
Would not want to be a long time holder of this stock when you lose 50% in from pre-market to now. Like did they lose all their contracts? Like that's
no, guys.
Hello.
So what's happened? That company basically they've broken the confidentiality clause of one of the big contracts, so they're not supposed to talk about it, and they have talked about it probably to pump up their stock price, and that purchase order has been cancelled by that company for this reason.
Wow, interesting. I think that was Marvel Semiconductor that canceled.
It's really funny. It's like meme stock behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's a correct news story here, but provides purchase order update.
It said they canceled all outstanding purchase orders from Celestial AI, a company Marvel recently acquired. So the cancellation notice received on the 23rd effectively terminates a partnership that included initial production units first disclosed by Poet like 3 years ago. So yeah. A confidentiality breach in Poet order cancellation. So yeah.
Has it been halted?
Huh?
Has it been halted?
Well, the big move was pre-market, but in the market session, nothing's been halted yet.
But right now, no, okay, it just doesn't seem to be moving at all.
And down.
Can you imagine being an investor?
What's that?
So can you imagine being an investor?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be bad.
Yeah, PLTR here, a nice move right at the open, right? If you can catch these are fantastic. But now above yesterday's high, right? Broke out above it on the 5-minute, retested right away. But excuse me, if it can stay above PDC and yesterday's low over here, this could be an interesting breakout and possible retest. But right underneath R3 could be resistance. I don't trade this, so I'm quite sure what move there is here, but it's definitely a nice big breakout out of the pre-market session here.
Yeah, I think there's room to the upside. If you look at I'll look at PLTR. I normally trade PTIR, but just to be consistent.
Yeah.
If you look at Palantir's 30-minute chart, the SMA 200 levels are around 145.62. So I see no reason why that it can't go to that. And then if you look at the hourly chart, the SMA 200 levels at 144.70. So we definitely got room to the upside, but there may be some resistance at that 144.70 level. We'll see. You know, and then if you look at levels, yeah, this thing could definitely hit. I don't know what the ATR is, but 147, 148 is not out of the question.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely strong. That's a very bullish 30-minute candle here and lots of volume.
It's got a lot of room. The ATR is 695, and right now it's plus 70 cents. So this thing could go for sure. Yeah, definitely. If 148, even maybe 150, if you want to go cuckoo, we'll see.
Yeah, this right here could be a target. Right, this is where we broke down and retested here. Could not get above here, so that if I were going long, this would be definitely one of my targets or very close to that. But then above that, yeah, you're looking at the highs here. If it is really strong, don't know if it's strong on news. Do you know?
No particular news today.
Oh,
yeah. Let's see what the chart's telling us.
Wow, this candle is untradeable on MNQ, but that is it definitely looks like a liquidity sweep down lower. Down to
the
bottom.
one thing on Palantir that I don't like right now is there's this hammer information on the 5-minute chart at like the top of the chart. And so for me to get an entry, there's got to be like 2 or 3 pullback candles closer to VWAP. And so like right now, I don't want to jump in because I'm feeling that I'm buying at premium levels, and I'm not supposed to buy at premium levels. I need to buy at value or discount levels.
Yeah.
And if anything, a hammer, like once you kind of get the arc of a high and you get a little bit of a pullback, if you get another hammer, I don't know, more often than not, I view that as well. the buyers can't push the price higher and they actually have lower. And if you look at the volume on the last 5-minute hammer green candle, substantially way less interest than the prior 3 candles leading up. You see that?
Yep.
Yeah. So when I see that hammer right now with the lower volume, I think there's some other complex pattern forming. And so, yeah, it's a great reason to just stay on the sidelines for me.
What I
Sorry.
would, no, I keep going. That's I want to hear everybody's opinion. I'm just, like I said earlier, I'm just here sharing my screen and sharing what I'm seeing. But it's much more valuable when everybody participates. What I would like to see if I were getting into this for the breakout and retest, the breakout is at this yellow line here, the yesterday high. So we did break out of there, made new highs. Now it's pulling back and retesting this area. So this is where I would zoom in. And I would love to see a wick down, but then a strong buying with a lot of volume here to see that, more participants are going in long here. So this is what I'd be looking at here for sure. Definitely some interesting levels here. I'll be right back. I need to step away.
Sure thing. Yeah, see, we're getting some selling off on Palantir right now. A hammer at the top of the range is for me a very different signal than a hammer at the bottom of the range. I think they mean completely different things. It just depends on the context. Yeah, thank you, Tedek. Yeah, hammer at the bottom indicates to me potential buying pressure and that the bulls want to take things up. But at the top of the range, it tells me the bulls can't get it up beyond that price. And then when you combine that with a lower volume profile, yeah. But back in the day when I first started out, I would see something like that and it wouldn't register as much with me. But now I see that and it's just a great sign to just stay away. Whereas if you look at AMD on the 5-minute chart, looks like we just printed a green hammer bit. Although the body is a little bit bigger than what I like it to be, but I don't know. What do you think of that, Jill, on AMD? Do you see any reversal sign potentials here?
Let me go to the 5 here. AMD, wow, that's a big drop. So
I don't know if that coincides with a level or not.
Yeah, there's a level right here on the 5-minute, right? That was a high a day. And then in pre-market here, when was that? Friday pre-market, we broke out above it and then came down. We are below yesterday's low. So this could be a level of support here.
Yeah, that was from the 23rd, or right, the 23rd pre-market overnight session high. It's kind of like touching that 332 area or something.
Yeah, is that the 23rd or yeah, sorry, that was 23rd. That was post the close on Thursday. Right? That was the high. Yeah, that's what I had said. And then in pre-market on Friday was where it broke up above it.
I like that.
Right? So this level here, and now you're seeing that we wick down, and this is a very bullish sign right here. Not trading advice, but having looked at this, and then you go to the 2-minute. 2-minute didn't give a wick, but we started buying right away. So that's very bullish here. This very bullish engulfing candle here.
Yeah, I really like this level because that overnight high on the 23rd was sort of validated the morning of the 24th pre-market session, and it bounced from there. So I would expect that buyer's going to step in. So you can either play that as like jumping in when I saw that green hammer candle print there in the 5-minute, or what I'm going to do is just look at this as a trend continuation. So I'm going to throw a fib on AMD from the low of that green hammer to some high point, which may be the last 5-minute green candle. I'm just looking for a pullback candle. Then let the fib pull back. Let me see the volume profile. I can go long and target high today.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that, Evo, because that is when I started getting back into the fibs was for that exact reason.
Really?
For that exact reason, because for me to get in here, I need to see there's two ways where I'll take this reversal down. A kangaroo tail, which means it's a long wick, and the wick needs to be 2/3. It's got to have a small body that is within the range of the previous tail. It doesn't have to be a small body, but it needs to be small where the wick becomes 2/3, right? So here the body is 50%. So this, for me, would not have given me an entry. So I would miss a lot like that, and then going, you know what? I was right on the move, right? Right on the level. So let's see, do I get a pullback? Right? So this is basically a break and retest. So the break is actually, it's not really a break because it's a reversal and retest. So it's reversed, it broke out, and now is it retesting this level? So putting a fib, like you said, from the low to the, actually, I don't like where it is. Hang on. There you go. So that we can see it properly here. Right? If it came into the 50 here and we saw, like you just said, a lot of buying, a lot of volume coming in here, this would be very interesting. And then you've got levels for your stops.
Yeah. And
Right?
look at the volume profile of the last selling candle on the way down.
Yep.
Prior to the
No volume.
declining selling volume.
Yep.
So that kind of makes me feel like maybe at least on this time chart that maybe the selling is exhausted. But again, I want to look at this as a trend continuation. So I want to see some sort of trend that we're going to head to the upside. And so I'm just going to carefully watch the next part of the consolidation phase to see what little clues I can get.
And this was at all-time highs, right? If I'm not mistaken, Friday again. Yeah. Right. So at all-time highs, there's a lot of buyers that are interested in this. And they're interested in it going higher than all-time highs here. So, you know, all these buyers, like you said before, these buyers here might be stepping in again. And
the only caveat, Jill, that I see right now that the SPY is in the pre-market range. So, and then the Qs are waiting for my chart to load up here. The Qs are sort of the same. In fact, they look like they may head to the downside. So kind of a consolidation, aren't we?
And SPY's right at PDC. Qs are below PDC. Hopefully my PDC is printing correctly. I think on equities or ETFs, it does print properly. It's just on futures right now that my PMH and PML do not print properly. But yeah, we're definitely inside a zone here and we're inside the first 30-minute candle, right? So inside this area is very difficult to trade. SPY, same thing, right inside the first 30-minute candle.
Yeah, and I would feel like better if the SPY was at the bottom of its range, because I feel like for breakouts or for trend continuation, it's better for the price action to be at the bottom of the range. It's got room to go, whereas the SPY is sort of near the top.
Yeah,
and there's probably going to be a resistance there. That's why I'm not fully convinced for like an AMD trade, but I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I wish it had touched the 50 over here, because that is we'll see how it closes. We got 15 seconds before it closes, but it looks like it might close red, but this is almost considered a trendy kangaroo if the trend is back up to the buying side. Right, we came down, tested, went right below over here. Right, took out some stops over here and then printed higher. But it might not be, and that's why I wouldn't take it necessarily. I want to see it come and touch the 50 here and then see a lot of buying. But like you mentioned, this on the red candle over here, we've got lower volume.
Yeah.
So we might, like we have trouble finding buyers at the top, and we might have trouble finding sellers over here. So we might have to go up higher.
So it may just be reflecting, the market just kind of being range bound with the market.
Yeah, it is. The first half hour has printed, so I'm more inclined into paying more closer attention. I'm just going to bring my alert over here. It's definitely. I've done a fib here from there. There's the alert right now. This fib right here from where we started selling in pre-market to where we bought at this level here, it's right at the 50. So this is definitely an interesting area for a possible continuation short. So the way that I look at it here, oh, it happened before. Oh, it's because I hadn't moved my my alert. But it did happen before. It wicked into here. I needed to see a bearish candle coming into a 2-minute fair value gap here. So if it were to reject this area again, this is something that I might take short. I'm just going to put it in here. Just actually, I'll do it with the tool over here. So sell, put a limit, get rid of this, put a limit order right over here. Stop loss would be there. Risk 333. So this is telling me 6 contracts, and then aiming for the low of the zone. All right, just to calculate. Yeah, this is definitely interesting here. Yeah, not getting the entry, but what I'm testing out is a limit entry over here. Automatic limit entry with a stop above here. Right here. Stop there. 3R right here. Let's just see what happens here. However, what I don't like about taking a short here is that we are in an uptrend. Right? So I'd be going against the trend. But I'm not aiming for a 20R, just aiming for 3. Right? And making 3Rs shorting during an uptrend is absolutely viable. Absolutely possible. Just for the fun of it, my levels are set. This is where we started buying. And this is where we started selling. So this level right here, 27,357 area, could be an area where we continue buying, right? So this was a reversal right here. We're buying, stopped here, could be pulling into this area. So if I were short over here, I'd be really looking at this golden zone in the opposite direction. Whether people want to admit it or not, that golden zone, the 50% retracement, is traded all the time on every time frame. It is constantly, the price is constantly going into that 50 to 61.8 area. What AMD do? Oh, I don't like this. That's a bit of a trap right there.
Yeah, we had that one sort of red hammer at the top, and it's now and a spinning top following that. So yeah, I wouldn't touch it. I need to have, it's got to be arc up and arc down. We got to have a kind of a gentle arc down with maybe 2 or 3 5-minute candles. If it's just one candle, that's not enough for me. So
we wait.
that's right, man. I'm sitting on my hands, man.
Yeah.
Like you said it this year that you've been trading exceptionally less than you have in your history of trading. Is that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. Since I canceled my DOS a couple weeks ago, I haven't taken a trade.
Now one trade in a couple of weeks.
I haven't traded in a couple weeks. Well, I'm getting back into the futures. The futures that I think is what I've decided that I will be concentrating on for the near to further future, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I'm refining my strategies. My strategies on equities don't work exceptionally well on futures from what I've seen. My strategies on equities were the kangaroo tail reversals, and those happen less often in the futures market. So I've been concentrating on the break and retest, and when I miss the kangaroo tail reversal or the double bottom reversal, let's say, I like the retracement into the golden zone as a continuation. So that's all I've been testing.
That's good.
Yeah. And no, I haven't been trading. And but my investments, when you look at investments, well, Jesus, they're, just look at the market.
Yeah, we're happy campers.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It is, man. Even I got into this new ETF from Robinhood, RVI, Retail Ventures, the collection of different private companies. And recently they said that they were going to, they dropped some news about OpenAI and give it a second win. But yeah, it's
so what it's RVI, it's like an ETF, but it invests in private companies.
Yes, yeah, I can tell you right now, it invests in
like the OpenAIs and the Cerebras and the SpaceX and all these names that Anthropic, all these names that are
Check this out. So they're currently invested in Databricks, Revolut, Mercor, Airwallex, Boom Supersonic, Aura, Ramp. But the new investments include 11 Labs, OpenAI, and Stripe. And so I got in the IPO at $25, I think, and then I added a little bit more on a pullback.
Yeah. What was the ticker again? Sorry.
R's and Robert, V's and Victor, I's and Indigo. And so if you want early exposure to OpenAI, I mean, this thing is rocking. I'm up like 20-some%, but this is a long-term hold.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a nice one. And there was another ETF, actually. It's PSUS. What's his face? Pershing Square.
PSUS?
Yeah, Peter Sam United Sam. They're not. The IPO is in 2 days.
Oh, it's pre-IPO. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Hey, thanks for sharing this RVI stuff. I wasn't aware of. This one I hadn't heard of.
Yeah. And then there was a new IPO that came out called the Elmet Group. Edward, Larry, Michael, Tom, ELMT. And they're into the aerospace, defense, government, but industrial, medical, they're all over the place. And they're into the tungsten and molybdenum minerals, so critical minerals. So I have a small position in that. I had a bigger one, but it didn't get filled. Only like 50% of it got filled, but that's okay. Anyways, I'm sorry I react for a couple minutes, but those are some.
No, don't Don't be sorry.
Besides my long-term investments, VOO, VTI, DIA, XME, some other stuff. Those are some newer acquisitions.
Yeah.
But it's
you
nice
know
to
what?
see.
You know what I teach and what my daughters are in, and they don't know? VO. It's the MER on VO is what, 0.03? And they're going to be in this until they're my age. And dollar cost averaging every 2 years. Every
Very
2 weeks.
smart.
Yeah. So when, this was happening, let's go back to a daily chart here. Right. When these pullbacks were happening here, this was awesome. We're getting things on sale here.
Big time.
And if anybody's looking at the daily chart, what I like to share here, and I was putting a line here, look at here. Look at where it came in retested. So I don't advise people to actually in investments to try to time the market. But what we trade on shorter time frames, they work in higher time frames. Look at this level, how it was respected. Came down and boom. And this level right here. And let's put let's just move this one. And this one didn't come in retest, but that's where I was expecting it to go.
But it came close. It can't always touch it. But
yeah, no, it came pretty close. But that's the beauty of dollar cost averaging, is just you set it and forget it. Right. And then whatever it is that you're putting in, I like using the $100 example. And with your broker, you don't have to be in a smaller derivative. You can just get into this and it'll just get you fractional shares for your $100.
yeah.
Right. So it's such a no-brainer. So anyway, coming back full circle to, no, I'm not taking any trades, but I'm still in the market. Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like the former resistance, the former premium level.
Yep.
It comes back, retraces, and it becomes support, and that premium level now becomes a discount area of price.
Yeah.
And so I've really had to bake it into my brain, like, don't do a dodo bird move and buy at premium levels. You're never supposed to buy. For me, anyone else can do what they want to do, but I got to change. And so I'm like, no, it's got to be value, which is 50% fib, right? Or discount, very bottom. And I'm sick of I don't over trade too much, but for me, I feel like I have. And so I want to take way less trades because when my setups appear, they're there and they're, I just got to wait for it.
Yeah, 1000%. And once you have something that works, like this one that I put in here, if I get to 3, if you can have asymmetric risk to reward, that's all you need. And this is what I'm working on, is having set rules for getting into a position like this, right? And again, this was, we started selling here. The impulse move started in pre-market. And then we came down to this level. Look at where it pulled back into and started selling again, right? It's this zone here. I'm not the only one. Everybody, a lot of traders, not everybody obviously, but I think everybody trades this, but they just don't even realize that they do, right? It's the 50% retracement from the impulse move. The only difficulty I'm having right now is this is subjective, and I would like it to be mechanical, right? The high a day is mechanical because that's easy to calculate, right? I can set an algorithm to say what's the high value of from 1600 1800 hours, right? 6 p.m. What's the high value? Well, the high value is right here, but that's not where I drew the fib. I drew the fib at the most recent impulse move. And the impulse move is where we really started selling. We could not make it any higher than this. And we can see it on the 2-minute or the 5-minute where we start seeing fair value gaps. People are going to say, well, I could have drawn it from here. Yes, but I want to draw it from the most recent. And I can get an algorithm to do that as well. Just be a little bit more complicated. So yeah, this level here, this is where we started selling. This is where we wicked down and started buying, and then went into the 50% zone. And then from there, you make it automatic, right? Limit order with a stop at the 61.8 level.
Gilles, can you go left a little bit to that other afternight session high?
Yeah.
Draw a fib on that and see how it relates to, but no, a separate fib.
Oh,
Keep
sorry.
your original fib there,
Yeah.
but draw a separate fib and see how it connects to your, if there's any relationship to your high level point or not. I guess not, huh? To the
the 50 area, which we'll draw over here. Hang on, I'll put it in, then I can move my mouse. So right there, the 50 correlates with the 61.8.
Yeah, but not there. I want you to draw it to the 27,502 level.
27.
So the bottom of it, I want it to be around the 27,502 level.
27.50.
Yeah, I know that's really tight. I'm just wondering if there's any sort of.
Do you mind me asking why 27.502?
Well, it seems like we kind of had a high and then we sold off and then we had another section. So I'm just wondering if there's any sort of interplay between the two kind of ranges.
Oh, okay.
And, but I can't make heads or tails of that. So
Yeah.
sorry about that. No, I just had one.
Oh, it's all good. All good. So yeah, coming back to the question of trading and taking a lot of trades. As I'm testing this out, I'd rather not risk real money. Why bother? It would be gambling at this point because it would just be, oh, I think this is a good setup. It's, what? Yes, I can trade price action. I've done that a lot, but that's scalping. It's not what I'm really aiming to do. What I'm aiming to do is build a system that works 60, 70% of the time. And then you set it and walk away, right? And you don't care whether it's going to work or not, because you know that over the long term, over a set of 25 trades or 100 trades, it works most of the time. And so with -1 and +3, it's profitable. So putting in a bit of a flag or, we're making higher lows right now. But the way that I would do this, I would leave it at +3. Right? If it makes a new low here, and just let it go. I mean, that's the goal. Also, with another account, then you can actually trade and aim for, larger moves. Right? It's possible to trade more than one account. So the way that I'm thinking is that, with prop firms, I would, especially when you can mimic, what's the word again? You can reproduce your trades, mirror, brain fart. Copy trading. Thank you, Tony. You can copy your trades, then aiming for 3R, then it's not 3R. You have 5 accounts, it's 15R. Right?
But if you lose, right?
Yeah, if you lose, it's -5R. Yeah. But not really. It's -1 on 5 different accounts.
Yeah. But if you're only looking to lose 1 hour in a trade, having multiple accounts that will amplify that, of course. So
Yeah. Yeah, but if you have strict rules where you only have, like the way that I trade, I can only have 3 losers. I can only lose 3R, and then I'm done for the day. Well, 3R on one account is not a big deal, especially with one winning trade. You can make that back.
I think it's why that first trade I take is so important.
Yeah.
Because, man, if I lose, then I just close the books right now, because I want to nib FOMO and over trading, and so now my rule is just 1 loss, I'm done.
Yeah, I hear you.
If I get some cushion in that first trade, if I make 5, 6, 10R, I'll take a second trade if the setup appears, and I'll only risk 1R. And if I have a loss, I close the book and I'm done for the day, because I want to remain asymmetrical in my results.
Yeah,
that's my goal.
Yeah, whatever works. And at the end of the day, there's no it's not easy. There's not one way of doing it. It's funny, you read X and it's like people will go and crap on other people's systems, and it's funny. It's like, you know what, let's just agree that there's tons of different ways to trade, right? There's tons of different strategies, there's tons of different ways to manage. If you stop trading after a 1R loss and it works for you, that's fantastic. Thank you, Hamza. I just saw that you had said copy trading as well. It's something I haven't done yet, but I plan on doing it. And then with my own live account, then you can treat that differently, right? You can aim for larger trades. But from what I've done and what I've seen over the years, aiming for 3R works. But yeah, you have to be patient. And I find that looking at every candle print, it will drive you crazy. So that's what I love about this system that I'm developing, and Tony's helping me. We're looking at, getting in after the low's been put in, put a limit order, put your stop at 61.8 or elsewhere. We'll see. Maybe if you're managing it actively over here, the stop above the previous wick would bring your 3R right here, right? And it would have been met, would have had it already. But that's actively managing it. I'm trying to get away from that with this system. But yeah, actively managing. Once it punched through here, right, you get in on the next candle, stop above, stop above the wick, probably the wick of this candle as well, and aim for 3. And 3 was right there. But you have to gain confidence in that it's going to work most of the time. And by most of the time, I mean more than 50% of the time. And to gain confidence, you need to test it. So leave that here. Put this back to 3. Right there. And we'll see. Yeah, I'll be alerted if it hits the profit.
So, Jill, you mentioned you do other things or work from home, and you kind of keep an eye on the market. So do you set alerts, or do you just kind of leave your platform open and check it out every 15, 30 minutes to see if something's come up? I'm just curious how you do that.
Yeah. No, thanks for asking. The way that I do it, and it's 10:30 right now. That's the alarm that I have to, because I know that I can go off on a tangent and talk and talk and talk. So I've got an alarm that says 10:30. Okay, lock it up. So that's one of my alerts. And then that's what I do. I set alerts. Right now, I would set an alert. Let's look at MES. I see that there was an impulse move over here. So I would set the beginning of my fibs, I would set over here and stop it over here. But after the bottom was put in, it made a new high over here. So at the end of the day on this, I have nothing. On oil, I don't really see much. MYM, that's a crazy candle right there. I don't see much there. Let's just use MNQ as an example. All right, so MNQ, this was the move. I would have set an alert. Let's say that, let's replay. Replay. Come on. Replay. Select the bar. There we go. All right, so before walking away, I would move one candle over. There you go. So let's say this is 10:30. I'd set this up right now. There's the alert on MNQ. I just hit target plus 3R, I'm assuming. 27, 3, 28.50. Yeah. So we just hit the 3R target over here. Full disclosure, it wasn't a real trade if you're just logging in right now. But no, just to answer your question, this is okay. It's 10:30. I can see, let's say there's another bullish candle right after here so that I can tell. Oh, crap. It's so high up. But I would set an alert over here right before the 50. Whoops. I can't set an alert while in replay. But that's what I would do. I would set an alert right here and then either walk away or do whatever it is that I need to do. I've got 3 screens. So my main screen is the one I never look at while I'm online right now. It used to be my DOS screen, but right now there's nothing. And this is where I'm doing different other things, other work that I'm working on. And if my alert goes off, if I'm not at my computer, it'll go off on my watch. That's what I love about TradingView. And then I'll come down and I'll look at it. Right? Is there a possible entry? So that's how I do it. If I am at my computer, TradingView is usually in the corner of my eye. I'll concentrate on other things. It used to be a problem where it's like, oh, this is setting up, this is setting up, this is setting up. But now I just set an alert for, let's say, a break and retest. Right? Let's say AMD. Oh, AMD is very, very curious right now. I do have an alert on AMD. Right? It's coming in. It came right close to the 50. It's above S4 here. Then I'd probably be alerted and I'd start looking at it. I'd be curious to see how this candle closes. Right? If I were trading AMD, if this closes near the top, another minute, this might be a long here. Right? And
you want to see a big sell-off, check out SMCI. They had a news drop. They're adding a big Silicon Valley campus. And
what are they doing? Sorry,
they're adding a Silicon Valley campus, SMCI.
Adding?
Yeah, Supermicro adds largest Silicon Valley campus. Its largest U.S. location and a significant expansion of its Silicon Valley operations in San Jose. So, you know, they're probably getting more expenses, whatever. And
yeah. Huh.
So big sell-off. So this definitely looks juicy for me. And look at this 5-minute candle information right now. But
juicy as the continuation down, Evo, or juicy?
No, reversal.
Reversal. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the volume pump in. Look at that.
Yeah.
Huge buying volume right now.
This is a level here, the range that I just put in here. right? That was the high. We broke out of it, then retested this range. We just came back into this range, and that doesn't sound like bad news.
Yeah.
They're
But-
expanding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously there's going to be CapEx involved, but yeah.
But look at that volume profile, this hammer that just printed. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be watching this, but
yeah.
I'm gonna take a break. You're probably signing off. Great seeing you, Joe.
Yeah, nice talking to you. You make it interesting, Evo and Amza and Tarek, the people that are sharing here. I really appreciate the opportunity to chat with you. So
Great.
all right. Talk to you later, guys. I'll be back tomorrow.
Take it easy.
Okay, take it easy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tarek.
I'm gonna hang up, but I'm just gonna kind of take a break for a little bit.
Okay. All right. Cheers, everyone. The room remains open for you guys that don't talk while I'm on. You guys go ahead now. All right. See ya.